Hello students, so welcome to the topic that is related with the disintegration of the USSR or Soviet Union. So previously we studied about the half part of the system of Soviet Union, and we read about Gorbachev and disintegration, and today we will start from the next page or the first para, that is with this line related. This topic, this para is also related to Gorbachev and disintegration. This is the last para of that topic. So earlier we read about this, that Russia, Ukraine and Belarus declared that Soviet Union was disbanded firstly, and secondly Communist China was banned, and thirdly capitalism and democracy were adopted as the system for the post Soviet Republic. That means after the disintegration of USSR. We had completed up to this line. So related to the same topic, the declaration on the disintegration of the USSR and the formation of Commonwealth of Independent States came as a surprise to the other republics, especially to the Central Asian ones. That means what? As soon after the USSR disintegrated, that means dissolved, and the formation of Commonwealth of Independent States, that means after the disintegration of USSR, CIS came into being. That means Commonwealth of Independent States came into being. And this surprised whom? This surprised the Central Asian countries. That means, if you remember, the Central Asian countries were the ones who did not wanted to be with any of the newly introduced system. They wanted to be with the old Soviet system. When everybody was wanting to be apart from the old Soviet system, the Central Asian countries were eager to be with the old Soviet system. So this CIS came as a surprise for them. Clear? Now the exclusion of these republics was an issue that was quickly solved by making them founding members of the CIS. Clear? After that, these Central Asian countries or the Central Asian members were not excluded, actually they were included, and they were made the founding members of the CIS. That means these Central Asian countries who did not wanted to go to the newly alliance, who wanted to remain with the old Soviet system, now after the disintegration of USSR, when the Commonwealth of Independent States were formed, these Central Asian countries were included as the founding members of the CIS. That means Commonwealth of Independent States. Russia was now accepted as the successor of the state of Soviet Union. Now, out of 15 countries, Russia was accepted as the successor state of Soviet Union. That means now USSR will be known as Russia. That means Russia will be leading or will be known as the successor of Soviet Union. It inherited the Soviet seat in the UN Security Council. Russia accepted all the international treaties and commitments of the Soviet Union. That means what? After taking as the successor state, Russia overtook. After that, it also acquired the seat in the UNSC. That means United Nations Security Council. After that, thirdly, Russia accepted all the international treaties and commitments of the Soviet Union. That means before the disintegration, whatever the treaties and commitments were there of the Soviet Union, then that treaties and commitments on behalf of the Soviet Union was taken by whom? Russia. Fourthly, it took over as the only nuclear state of the post-Soviet space. After that, it took over as the only nuclear state. Means out of the 15 countries, Russia was now counted as the only nuclear state of the post-Soviet space, and carried out some nuclear disarmament measures with the US. And they also counted themselves as the nuclear state. That means state acquiring nuclear weapons, and along with that it also worked on some of the disarmament measures. Disarmament measures can be related to not using the nuclear weapons as far as possible. So the Russia was also working with the US on these issues. The old Soviet Union was thus dead and buried. So in this paragraph, as the USSR was disintegrated and CIS came into being, then the Central Asian ones was included as the founding members of CIS. Now firstly, after the USSR was disintegrated, Russia was accepted as the new successor. Then what did Russia did actually? It did around 5 things. Number 1 is it inherited the Soviet seat in the UNSC. That means UN Security Council. It held the seats of Soviet Union. That means it took the seat of Soviet Union firstly. Secondly, Russia accepted all the international treaties and commitments of the Soviet Union. That whatever the treaties and commitments were there, Russia overtook that. Thirdly, it took over as the only nuclear states of the post-Soviet space. That means out of 15 countries, Russia only counted as the only nuclear country after the disintegration. Then it carried out some nuclear disarmament measures with the US, and along with counting themselves as a nuclear country, along with that they also carried out some disarmament process with the US. So in this way, after doing this formality, hence it can be said that the old system or the old Soviet Union or the USSR was thus dead and buried. That means here we can say, up to reading here, we can now finally count that the USSR has been disintegrated. That means it is dead and buried. Clear? Now we came to knew that why the Soviet Union disintegrated, how the Soviet Union disintegrated, sorry. Now we will read about why did the Soviet Union disintegrated. Clear? So coming to this point, how did this second most powerful country in the world suddenly disintegrate? This is the question actually. We can also think about this, that how the second most powerful state or country after America, that means US, just suddenly disintegrated. This is a question worth asking, not just to understand the Soviet Union and the end of communism, but also because if it is not the first and may not be the last political system to collapse. While there are unique features of Soviet collapse, there may be more general lessons to be drawn from this very important case. That means there are many things that we must learn from this incident actually. How the world's second most powerful bloc, that is the Eastern Bloc, suddenly collapsed. Because this was the only country, this was the country who manufactured everything from pin to cars. So related to that, how can a country like Soviet, how can a union like Soviet Union or the USSR can fall so early? That means collapse so early. There is no doubt that the internal weaknesses of the Soviet political and economic institution which failed to meet the aspirations of the people were responsible for the collapse of system. That means, according to the experts, the first and foremost reason that is being shown, that what is the reason actually? Why is the Soviet Union? Did the Soviet Union disintegrated? So first and foremost reason can be said that the internal weaknesses of Soviet political and economic institution. That means the weakness was not from the external side. This was between themselves only. And this internal weakness was related to political and economic institutions. Whatever the political and economic institutions were there, this internal weakness was related to this only. And that only failed to meet the aspirations of the people. And the people over there were not happy because the government did not make the people feel like their own country. They dominated like anything. And through this incident, people generally became what? Became fed up of this old system where they could not have their ownership. That means private ownership cannot be there. And apart from that, they cannot have the right to speak against the government. and the only way they were showing the dissatisfaction over the government was through jokes and cartoons, which they picturized through some medium. So economic stagnation for many years led to severe consumer shortages, and a large section of Soviet society began to doubt and question the system, and to do so openly. So as we read earlier, that it started from the attack on Afghanistan, that the downfall of the Soviet Union started actually. So here economic stagnation, that means the economy of USSR actually stagnate, that means stopped at one level for many years. And when the economy of a country is stopped or is paused for many years, that will lead to what? That will lead to severe consumer shortages. Many things will be actually not be fulfilled, because there will not be any availability of that consumer products or goods, and as a result what will happen? That country will face economic shortages or consumer shortages, which will lead to economic stagnation. And after that, when the consumer shortages were actually created, a large section of Soviet society began to doubt and question the system, and to do so openly. Earlier they were what? The people of Soviet Union, Soviet society were doing what? They were criticizing, but now slowly and gradually they started to do so, that means criticize the system in an open way. Clear? Now after that, why did the system become so weak, and why did the economy stagnate? This is the question actually. That system, why suddenly the system, Soviet system, becomes so weak, and why did the economy stagnate? The answer is partially clear. The Soviet economy used much of its resource in maintaining a nuclear and military arsenal, and the development of its satellite states in Eastern Europe and within the Soviet system. That means the 5 Central Asian republics in particular. So starting what they did, the economy used much of its resource. As they had money, so they started using their resources in what? In maintaining a nuclear and military arsenal. Why did they do so actually? They were maintaining a nuclear and military arsenal to do what? For the development of its satellite states in Eastern Europe and within the Soviet system. And they were doing this thing to be in competition with whom? With the US. So this led to a huge economic burden that the system could not cope with. So you can say that 60 or 70% of the money they were having spent on what? The nuclear, in maintaining their nuclear and military arsenal. Due to this, there was a economic collapse, due to which the system could not cope with. Again, they could not rise. Clear? At the same time, ordinary citizens became more knowledgeable about the economic advance of the West, and as the people of Soviet Republic or Soviet Union were looking at their system, how their system and how their economy is falling rapidly, along with that the people of the Soviet Union were also looking how the Western countries or the Western alliances are actually economically advanced in terms of technology, in terms of anything, and in terms of economy also they were very much advanced in comparison to the Soviet system of economy. They could see actually, they could compare. They could see the disparities between their system and the system of the West. So they were actually doing what? They were making comparison. That why their system, that why their Soviet system of economy is so stagnant, has become collapsed, and why the system of the West is actually rapidly growing. So they were making comparison of that. After years of being told that the Soviet system was better than the Western capitalism, the reality of its backwardness came as a political and psychological shock. So after that, what happened? Earlier, the people of Soviet Union were been made fool actually. The government, the Communist Party of Soviet Union actually made the people understand that the Soviet Union's economy is much better than that of the Western system of economy and better than their capitalism, ideal of capitalism. But that was not the reality. And when this reality came in front of the people of Soviet Union, that means the people of Soviet Union can now easily see that the Soviet Union idealism of socialism and their economy have both become collapsed, and whatever the reality or whatever the things were said earlier that the Soviet Union system was quite advanced as compared to Western capitalism, the reality has changed everything. Now the people came to know everything, and this reality actually did what? This reality actually gave a shock to the people of Soviet Union, and this shock can be again subdivided into two parts. This came as a political shock also, and this came as a psychological shock also to the people of Soviet Union when they came to know that their system is not anywhere near to the system of the US or the Western Alliance. Clear? The Soviet Union had become stagnant in an administrative and political sense as well. So not only economic, but the Soviet Union had become collapsed in administration also and in political sense also. The Communist Party that had ruled the Soviet Union for over 70 years was not accountable to the people, and this was the most negative points of the Communist Party, that after ruling 70 years also they were not accountable to the people, and they did not want to be accountable to the people. The people did not know actually what the government is doing for them, what are the benefits that they are going to have. Ordinary people were alienated by the and stiffing administration, rampant corruption, the inability of the system to correct mistakes has made the unwillingness to flow more openness in the government, and the centralization of authority in a vast land. Clear? After that, what happened? This corruption issue came into being, and it also raised what? The inability of the system. That means if corruption is there in the system, that means what? The system will be unable to correct any mistakes if the corruption is there. If any country has corruption at the highest level, then that country will not lead to development, because the corruption makes what? The whole system unable to correct the mistakes, whatever the mistakes are done. Worse still, the party bureaucrats gained more privilege than ordinary citizens, and after that the bureaucrats, the party bureaucrats, that means the Communist Party's bureaucrats, had more power than ordinary people, as according to that people were only given the standard of living along with that hospital facilities, education facilities, but in real the bureaucrats had more facilities, more privileges than ordinary citizens of the Soviet Union. People did not identify with the system and with the rulers, and the government increasingly lost popular backing, and after that it was to be happened actually. If you will not support your own people, if you will not give proper facilities, and you will not count your people as equal, then these things will happen. And we are reading about this only, that why did the Soviet Union disintegrate. So related to this topic, we will wind up here only, that why did the Soviet Union disintegrate. We will quickly rewind actually of the last para, that the party which ruled the Soviet Union for over 70 years, they were not able to understand the people of their own country, and they, first and foremost, they were not accountable to the people. After that, the corruption was at its highest peak in the Soviet Union, and this corruption only made the whole system unable. And unable in the sense means it was so much of its inability came into the eyes of every people and in the system also, that it was actually helpless to correct any mistakes. So I hope that whatever the points related to Gorbachev and disintegration, and the second point, that why did the Soviet Union disintegrate, we read about today, all the points are very much clear to you. And in the next class we will continue with the same topic of why did the Soviet Union disintegrate, and we will wind up here only. Thank you.